Okay, guys, welcome to the live session tonight. Tonight we're going to take questions from our members, not just Will. We're going to start with Will. He'd been asking me all day, had a crazy day today, but he wants to know what stock screeners do I use and how do I find good setups without looking at 50,000 different stocks, okay? And there's multiple reasons and answers to that question. I'm going to show you a few, and they're all going to be primarily based on so many different variables. It's insane, but I'm going to show you how I do it because it varies between large cap and small cap. It's going to be different for each one of them, okay? So in regards to stock screeners and tools, we do use TipRanks. TipRanks gives you all the latest news. It gives you all the latest PT upgrades, overview, portfolio analysis, stock watch list, expert watch list, your performance, market news, ticker range labs, ideas, penny stocks, dividend stocks, FANG stocks, coronavirus, earnings calendar, dividends calendar, stock market holidays, IPO calendar, the works. You can even go to top smart score stocks and penny stock screeners if you wanted to go just to top stocks and screen them just like this. You can literally go to, say, medium market cap sector, say you like technology, and you want to say just in the last 2 weeks or so. Right, there's one, CIEN, okay, would have fit the category on that. So we can jump over and see what that looks like. CIEN, and you can see the daily chart looks like this thing. Let me get a better view on this. Looks like it fell off pretty hard off of earnings here. Earnings probably was not good. Fell from 61 all the way down to 37. Looks like it held this 37 pretty well. Looks like it trended up there, and it looks like it got a rejection right at this range for a while. It couldn't get over this 57.66 range, which was the level that it lost previously, okay? So right here was its resistance. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times it tried to break it. Came down. Earnings again. This is likely pre-market. That's why you see it gapped up like that. It gapped up off earnings, and right now it looks like it's just kind of trading sideways. But that is a top 10 smart score stock. For me personally, looking at this chart, there's only two ways that I would play this one. I would go right here to the high, which is right here at the top of this channel. Okay, I'm looking for a break of this right here, which is very possible. This could trend up and test a breakout right here, or I would look to dip buy it at the bottom of this channel if it ever were to have a big sell-off. I would look for a swing trade like that, okay? And that is similar to other ones that trade in those sideways channels like Charge Point. You guys know we played this one a million times, 4 times at least. So you guys see the how these find these base levels. This is 1950. This is 1950, 1905, 1900. 1905, okay? Within 50 cents was the bottom 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times on that. If you were to buy anywhere near this base, it hit 34, 35, 30, and the last time it just went all the way to around 37.50, okay? It did get rejected right at previous resistance, and looks like it's coming all the way back down near our base support. Just had a nice bounce off of this level. We'll see if it holds it again. Looking at it on like a lower time frame, here was the move off of 2208 to 26. Sold off with growth stocks the last few days. I can just drag this straight across. I'll be honest with you guys, it looks like it's right there again, ready. Okay, so watch for this 2208 and watch for this thing pre-market. If it falls and we open pre-market down at this 2208 level, It's very oversold. Does have volume. We have the infrastructure bill coming in, which is going to be directly correlated with EV charging. You look at any EV charging stock or EV stock, and it will have this exact same chart. It's not just this company. It's all of them. It's just the sentiment of that sector. And just to prove that point real quick, look at Plug Power. Look at this. Down, over, okay? Charge point. Down, over, okay? You can go to Fuel Cell. Look at this. Down, over, right? Same exact chart for all of these things. So don't think that you have a bad pick at times. The sector sentiment and the market sentiment is going to overrule everything unless it gets just outstanding news, all right? But watch this 2208 bottom, okay? This is the level that it just bounced at hard. These options move extremely fast. I'm going to show you guys the options chain on this real quick. This is at 2208 just to 2650. All right, so we're going to go to the closest one on July 30th, and let's go to the $25 call since that's right in the middle of the two that we're playing. So they're $28 right now. Let's go to the 5-minute chart. You can see on 721, just on that last spike from right here, they went from 50 per contract to 178 per contract. Now they're currently $28 per contract, okay? So big move. If this were just to get back to its previous level, that's 6x, okay? So that's a 600% gain just from where we're at to that last spike right there. So if I jump back over and just look at charge point in general, okay, this move right here from here to here is potentially a 500% gain. It's a little higher now, even though the stock price is higher here than it was here. You got to factor in theta and time decay and the probability of it reaching 25 by the 30th. So the probability is not in your favor those final days. However, it does allow you to get extremely cheap premiums that way. If you would have bought these a month ago, you would have paid hundreds of dollars for the same contract. So watch for this bounce. If we do get a bounce, we can look for this thing to go towards $24.50, potentially $25 range right here. Just getting right up into that range. And that alone would cause an easy 300% gain on these options. And over the weekend and at open on Monday, these options are going to be even cheaper for the July 30th $25 calls. Probably be able to buy these for $10 to $15 a piece. You can see how quickly 59% down on the day. Looks like the $28 calls have the highest open interest. That would be more of a lotto play. You go to the August 20th, the $25 calls, 5,761 open interest, tight spread, 100 to 104, but you can see the volatility is still there. The open interest is pretty good on that one, and the implied volatility is the lowest of all of it surrounding it. 57.53 is not bad, so you're getting a good premium on that $25 call right there. So this is one we're going to be watching heavily at open. But to try and finish his question was, I look at tip ranks for news and price target upgrades, okay? I use stock card for, forgive me, let me log into this real quick. I use stock card for looking at the fundamentals of a company. So let's just say we go to the same ticker and we go to charge point. All right, this one's basically going to show you all key information on this stock. You just scroll down and you can open all of it up. Sales growth, it's going to show you pretty much on all of them. It looks like this one is not charted in there, probably because it's just merged. But if you look at anything else like Square or anything, I haven't seen any that wasn't really in there. So Square, just to show you an example, money flow, sentiment, and the inflow. So watch this. If you come down to this, sales growth, It's going to show you the whole year and the fiscal year profitability, positive last 12 months EPS growth trend, bad gross profit margin quarterly. All right, cash availability, it's going to show. It's also going to show past investment return, dividends if it has it, and share buyback news if it has it. It basically gives you a little bit of insight on all of their fundamentals. Then it's going to show you the money inflow. It's going to show you the short interest, the simple moving average, and the relative strength for our RSI. That will all be in there. Then it'll basically give you an analysis consensus on what type of stock it is for what type of portfolio you're holding. Okay, so stock card basically breaks down each thing about each stock. It'll have the winners and the losers of the day, all the top gainers. It'll also have watch list ideas, meme stocks, medical robotics, telemedicine, non-fungible tokens, cryptocurrency, you name it, guys. And you can filter all these on there. You can take OTC and penny stocks off. You can switch it by price from $2 all the way to $3,000, right? You can switch it by market cap if you want to. You can filter these in any way you want over here to be able to make it easy to find these. Okay, so the best trade for me and the best style that I have and the style that I've always had is something like this, okay? I don't just go off of charts. I go off of charts and fundamentals, okay? So what I'm really doing is, let's just say charge point for an example. And we'll use this example. Why? Because we bought it here, 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 and here. Okay? Me and Emily bought this 4 times. And I even mentioned last week that I was likely to buy it at this level and not this level. I did not think it would reach this level again. And it did bounce off of this first support level. Possible that it came to second support, but it looked pretty oversold at that range. So what I'm trying to accomplish here on charge point, all right, I know it has a good chart set up. I know that the fundamentals on it are solid. I know how many charging stations they have. I know what their future projection is. I know the upside that it has. I also know that it's a growth stock in its first year, and it's going to be volatile. All of them are. I know a lot of people just started trading within the last year. The first year for growth stocks are normally extremely rocky. But if you can implement my plan, here's my plan, guys. And it doesn't get easier than this, okay? Buy at support, sell into resistance, and trim along the way. Buy at support, trim at resistance. As soon as you've seen this thing starting to get overbought up there, okay, buy at support, trim along the way into resistance. All right, came all the way back to these levels. It's near buying levels again. We're oversold, starting to get volume. We have the infrastructure bill right around the corner. It looks like we're going to have another swing on this thing. So this is going to give us our 5th opportunity to bank on this stock. So if I were you, this is when I would start to implement Emily's strategy as well as mine. So say you buy 200 shares. All right, let's just use it for an example, because for those of you that like to sell covered calls or want to learn how to sell covered calls, you need 100 shares of a stock, okay? Simple as that. You have to have 100 shares. So say you buy 200 shares right here at 19 and you swing it up and you trim for some profit. It sells off. You buy back down with your profit and your original investment here. Get your 200 shares again. All right, swing, take profit, comes back to support. Now you're buying with profit 2 and profit 1, averaging in at the same exact level. Now you can buy 200, 250 shares. Well, guess what? It doubled off that last support. Literally doubled from 19 more than doubled. It went to $37. Okay, so
That's right. Can you just punch it in the middle?
No, I can't.
Why not?
sorry about that, guys. Some people don't realize their mic's on, but no big deal. So at this level, if you were to swing trade this from this base support and it doubles, now you've doubled your investment. All right, you have 200, you have 250 shares, whatever the case may be. Sell all of your profit except for 100 shares of the stock. Okay, you have 100 free shares now of this company. I know that's a crazy idea, but these shares are free. You doubled your money on this and you took out your initial investment. So it really doesn't matter that much that it's going through the volatility, especially if you believe in this company long term. You have 100 free shares of a stock that has massive upside, okay? So what do you do while a stock is going through its volatility? Well, I'm going to tell you exactly what you do. You sell calls on it, okay? You can sell one option per every 100 shares that you have. So we're going to go to options. It's at 2270 right now. So let me use this as an example. This is at major resistance right here. This is at $37, all right? So let's go to this $36 option, all right, for August 20th. It's worth 10 to 25 right now. I want to show you guys how much this thing was worth, okay? So on that last spike, these were worth $385 a piece, okay? They're now worth $14. This is just from 629 to 723. Not that long of a time. $389 per option. All right. Now let's go to the. Let's go to a different one actually. Let's get one that's a little bit more closer to the money. What was this? The 36. Let's look at the 32s. Okay, here's a good example. So this thing ran up to $610 per option, is now worth $26. All right. So as you have this 100 free shares now of this company is now at resistance, and you just sell a call. You typically always want to sell a call the final 30 days of a contract's existence. And that's why you see most people doing that, because of what Emily shows you guys in that slideshow. Is that theta curve on that final 30 days is crucial. Your options will just get destroyed. That final 2 weeks is the worst, but the final month is when that thing starts, okay? So say I sold that option for $610, all right? Now, let's go back to the regular chart, all right? We sold it right up in this range at $610. You're still going to be down on it, but it would have hedged you $600. So you could have went all the way to $30 and you still would be at break even on your shares, okay? Once that expire worthless, you can just sell another call on this, and eventually you already have 100 free shares. So selling this call for $600 out of the money is just free money, okay? And the higher this goes, the higher these options are going to be worth. So you made $600 off of your free 100 shares. Now, if this goes back up in the future, sell another one for $600. If this goes back to 40 plus one day, used to be 50. Say it goes to $60 one day. These options could be worth $1,000 a piece now. So now you're selling a single contract for $1,000. So it's just all profit, because don't worry about this thing coming down to support and swinging back to resistance. You can always swing trade that again. But that initial free one that you got, put this in another account if you have to. Only sell calls on that one, all right? And at some point, it's almost like collecting a dividend. every month you can sell an option on it if you time it right, and I'm going to help you guys time it right. You're basically just collecting a $600 dividend every month off of a stock that you own only because you swing traded it for 100%. And I know that sounds crazy, but I couldn't tell you how many stocks I've posted in here that went 100% equity, probably over 100. So you could have 100 positions right now that are free that you just sell calls on. You guys all remember the last two big ones. At Home Group, right? 1450 to 44. These options were going for a ton at this level. I only bought this stock because of the technical analysis on this and the fact that it had upside. But it had base support, it had resistance, it had consolidation, it had the break of the downtrend right there. As soon as that thing broke that downtrend, we were in right here at 1450. Okay? This thing swung for 100% gain at $30, hit a high of 44.01. Okay, so now you get 100 free shares of At Home Group because of that swing trade. Now, how much do you think the options were for this thing at $44? A single option at this level cost more than your entire position cost when you first bought it over here at times, especially if you sell it more than one time. Okay, you could have sold weeklies, it went sideways, they expired worthless. Okay, a little spike, sold another one here, went sideways again, worthless. And you just collect premium after premium after premium. Now that is going to be a part of the strategy. I know I'm a little off topic, Will. I'm going to jump back over for you right now. So I use tip ranks and stock card to easily screen things. But we also watch the FDA catalyst calendar right here. So we know all of the upcoming catalysts for all of biotech. And this goes from penny stocks all the way to, massive companies that are worth hundreds of dollars. You're going to be able to see, Merck, renal cancer for carcinoma, August 26th date, for their Keytruda drug or anything. This thing is going to have everything on it. So me and Emily already have all these mapped. We've already decided together that we're going to make a channel for that for you guys. So over here in Dale and M, I know that we got a lot of stuff going on here. We're going to add with our Google Sheets, all right? We're going to have open plays. We're also going to have a Google Sheet that just has all of these, our top ones anyway, okay? We're going to have the top ones that we think are going to trend into this catalyst. And we're going to set buy targets on them, okay? The Google Sheet will automatically turn green when it's in a buying range, okay? We can set this Google Sheet up to where, let me show you. Whenever this resistance level back here, if you see this first support, first resistance, second resistance, right? This automatically has a code in it to where if it hits first support, it'll turn light green. If it hits second support, it'll turn dark green, or vice versa. First resistance, light red. Second resistance, dark red. So you're always going to know kind of where your stock is sitting at in regards to a potential entry, all right? The live chart is going to show you stacked relative volume, and it's going to show you 52-week high and 52-week low. It's going to show you the whole list. Are they near 52-week low? It's also going to show you support and resistance, okay? As you can see, this whole list right here is near second support right here. All of these are, or just under, all right? We have a few of the scragglers out there that are at second resistance or first resistance, okay? So this will give you kind of an overview to where you can simultaneously see the entire sheet at the same time of where they are in regards to support and resistance and 52-week high and low. That's live HE chart, and that's all going to be right there. And we're going to re-coordinate this again to where these will just turn green whenever they come within those ranges. Now, that is not to say that every stock that comes on there that turns green is a buy, but it is saying that it's worth a look for us to pull it up and chart it out and make sure that no bad news or anything crazy came out on it. But it does open it up for an easy potential play, okay? Those FDA catalysts, if you guys look at the last 20 or 30 that I posted on there off of here, I couldn't even tell you guys how many of these things just dominated. We went over one, I believe it was 2 weeks ago, and I'll show you exactly which one it was because it was one of the top gainers of the day. It was not CYCN. It was the one that had the Alzheimer's drug. So let me jump back to this. Which one is it?
Was it AXTI?
Yes, it was.
You know my weird memory.
Nope, not AXTI.
No,
it was something close to that. I think it's ATXI. Nope.
No.
Yeah, that is strange. I would have to look back.
I think it was ALZN.
That's exactly what it was. Yeah. It's
Yes,
exactly
sir.
what it was. Yeah, good job, man. So we were talking about this a few weeks ago, and I remember specifically stating, verbatim damn near, remember drugs, like drugs that come out for Alzheimer's or neurodegenerative diseases, anything with like lupus or autoimmune disorders, things that there are not cures for, okay? These things get the biggest hype when news comes out on them, right? So we were talking about ALZN last week as a potential play because we knew that this date was right here, right? And if any positive news were to come out on this, what did I say the PT was? Like 10 or 11, right? Because that's just the first level up here. 10 potentially get to that 12, 11. And as you can see, pre-market, and that's why you got to be ready to go on pre-market, man, because this thing started selling off before open even happened because it just went up too high too fast. But it doesn't mean that our strategy was not on point because it held around this area well, and when that news did drop, it did almost triple. So when we're looking these up like that, these things really do get news like that, man, and they really crush into them. And we've had a ton of them do just that. So that's how I'm looking for my biotech, Will. I know that you're looking more for large caps, okay? So for you, you're going to be looking for more plays like this. Say we go back into tip ranks or stock card. Both of them will screen very well, all right? You're going to be looking for some of these major news articles, all right? Let's see. Like, you look at these mega tech stocks and you look at, okay, let's use this one for an example because this was really easy play. All right, we'll go to Apple. So if you look at Apple and we go to this 4-hour chart on this, all right, you guys can see this right here. I'm going to try and fit this whole chart in here right there. Right there. That'll be the best use to start with, okay? So Apple, let's scale back a little bit. Let's just go through this whole progression here, okay? So Apple had this split right here, okay? So here's its new stock price. It sold off from the split, oversold, held this level. Had a little rebound from the split, sold off, held its trend line. From this trend line support, it trended into a new all-time high right here. Okay? It sold off, went directly to its trend line, sideways, went back near its same highs again. Didn't make it all the way up there, but it still went from 116 to 140. Still a monster move for an option. Okay? Then sold all the way off, hit trend line again. Now, why is it important right here at the trend line? Because this thing had earnings right here. This is where earnings was, okay? So we're at trend line support, and we have earnings right around the corner. You know, what do you think Apple is going to do into its earnings? It typically likes to trend heavily into its earnings. Earnings are solid. Sometimes it'll break out, you know, even higher than that. If you look at it on the daily chart, okay, here's the split. It fell after the split. You can just see those levels hold every single time, okay? So for a large cap play, don't look at those super short intraday charts. I know that you're going to do some day trades and some scalp trades. You know, rock with Kumo on some of those. Zeus Trader, they're both going to crush on those midterm plays. They're both really good at it. On the midterm swing plays, I'm going to get you into the ones that, say, for example, and this is one of the hardest things to do. Say I told you to get Apple right here, right? Because I know it had earnings right here. I know that it's going to trend off that trend line. But if you look at it, it took about 14 days before this thing really took off like that, okay? So most people are going to get impatient right here, and that theta and time decay comes. Their options are going to be down. They're going to be freaking out, and most likely they're just going to sell it for a loss. Then it explodes, and they're like, oh my God, if I would have just held my Apple calls. I mean, it happens all the time just like that, right? So what you got to do is just stay true to the long-term trend, okay? Earnings. We trailed up into earnings, all right? Earnings. We trended up into earnings. Almost to all-time high again right here, okay? Earnings trended up towards earnings, fell on this one. Split, ran all the way into the split. Earnings ran all the way up into the earnings. So 5 of 6, it went up minimum $20 a share to $40 a share going into an earnings play. And a lot of that's going to be based off of the sentiment of the market or anything like that. But look at Microsoft, okay? Microsoft is all-time high. You look at Microsoft on its same trend line, okay? Now let's put this right in this range right here, okay? Here's Microsoft right there. So here's the all-time high at 233, fell all the way down to 197. Here's its trend line. Here, 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 and here, okay? These are the dips, and this is on a daily chart, guys. So this is days and weeks sometimes of falling, and I'm telling you, most of the time, after chopping around like this and doing nothing for a while, people get bored, and they're out of that play right there, right? Sideways, ain't doing nothing. They're bashing it, and as soon as they sell it, right on that red candle right there, it rips to all-time high right there, right? So you have to stay true to these until it shows you otherwise. But it hasn't. Microsoft has not shown you otherwise. Microsoft has only shown you that every time we reach trendline support down here, it pushes bare minimum to resistance. And on the last one, it pushed all-time high, broke all-time high, held all-time high, and just pushed and broke a new all-time high at 289. So for a swing trade, this is at 224. I mean, that's a huge move just from here to here or from here to here. You can look at the options history if you want to know how quickly these go up. Let's say The July 30th, we're at 289. Let's look at the $290 calls. I want you guys to see what these were worth. These are $470. They were just $95. All right, and that is 4 days ago. 4 days ago, Microsoft was worth 95 a contract. Now they're up 500% just off that last little move. If you go to the hourly chart, these were worth $60 down here. Okay, and now they went all the way up to 500. I ain't doing that math in my head, but it's a lot. You figure this is 0.5, 2 for 500%. That's almost 1,000%, closer to 850% gain off that move right there. This is from 625 to 723 Microsoft call. Okay, so these are massive moves that you can hit on some of these things for these larger cap stocks. So I look for the chart. Number one, market sentiment, okay? And which market? Is it the NASDAQ? Is it the Dow Jones? Is it the S&P 500? Is it the Russell 2000, okay? First things first, always come over and just look at your markets. Which one of these are moving? Which ones overseas are falling, okay? If the NASDAQ is moving, then you're going AMD, okay? You're going AMD, moving off these 7250 lows all the way back to 90 plus already. You can look at AMD on this chart right here. Let me clear this whole thing out. Let's see what this other chart looks like. Here we go. Really good picture of it, okay? So check this out. Here's the original break right here. Just comes straight over, right? Just like this. And you can see, just like that. All right? Let's scale in on it just a little bit, give you a real clear picture of this. So this is at 7250, hit 94. All the way down, 7250, hit 88. All the way down, 7250, went to 99.23. Chopped, fell all the way down, 7250, hit 87. Hit about 74, back to 88, and then all the way back to 7250, just hit 94, fell a little, and now it's ripping, looking like it wants to come all the way back to that 99 right now, right? MACD crossing, RSI's curling up, volumes coming in, great sector, great company, okay? But the swing trades were there. You have to let them come to you, guys. You do not want to buy in this mid zone. I see so many people that take plays right here, right? Right in the questionable areas. Like, they'll ask me right here, like, what's AMD going to do? I have no idea. It's right in the middle. It's flat. You know, it's going to be news and market based because this is going to follow the NASDAQ, okay? But I will tell you this, if it ever comes to these long-term support levels, and I know that people, you know, you don't feel like it will, but it always ends up happening, right? That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 opportunities at 72.5 right there. Could have got $90 calls at any time, and this thing would be in the money with upside right now. That 72.50 floor is boss, is the real deal, and you see the same thing with Snapchat. All right, Snapchat has a very similar chart, just broke all-time high, okay? I know that you guys went over this stock with me. Who in here has not seen me go over a Snapchat chart? Well, I can promise you guys that we did. We did it many times. In addition to that, we did make a whole video on it, okay? So keep that in mind on there. Let me see. Let's go to this here. and right here. All right, and that one's gonna be right here. Okay, this specific video, I know it was 3 months ago, but I gave you the whole game plan on ChargePoint, FCX, AMD, and Snap. Okay, and I can promise you, this thing was at 1950. This thing was super low. AMD was at 72.5, and Snap was right there at that support level. All right, these were all posted in the other room. We played AMD and Snap and FCX and ChargePoint. These were all official calls as well. But don't let those levels go away in your head. And what I mean by that is, when this originally ran all the way up right here, and it came to this support and held, and it held here, and it held here, and it held here, and it held here, okay? These are real solid support levels. Don't ever wait for me even. I could be focusing on something else and completely miss it. If you ever see Snapchat come to this level right here, that's just free money, okay? This is at $48, okay? 48 to 74, 48 to 66, 48 just hit all-time high off earnings, just exploded off that bottom. And that line that you're seeing was my line for the day, for an earnings potential YOLO. That's what I was watching. It was holding this well. I had a strong feeling that this thing was going to beat earnings. I don't like calling out YOLOs for earnings, guys. I've seen so many people get burned on that. But I was definitely looking at that. All right, that's the same thing for. Let me check Veritone too here in a second. Actually, trying to see where that even was. Yeah, I'm not even sure where I put that, to be honest with you guys. Maybe day trade? No. Sorry about that. I don't know where I put it. I know that I posted Snap somewhere, though, that I was looking for an earnings YOLO on it, and I showed all the levels on it, basically kind of left it up to you guys if you wanted to take it. Actually, I want to recheck this one, too, here in a minute when we're done. What is this one here? Okay, we got to double check that real quick before I leave too. Definitely going to check T here soon. And Abbott. I was looking for a break on that. Yeah, a lot of things in my watch. Let's see. One more second, guys. I'm just more curious more than anything now. I don't... TTOO, definitely going to be playing this one. If you missed my verb play, you better not miss this play, okay? Telling you guys that right now. If you missed verb, do not miss T2 Biosystems. This is going to play right into the palm of our hands. This thing is going to double from the position that we get in on this thing, all right? You are making 100% on this, for sure. I was watching OSUR also. This one also... did really, really well off those levels. Let me check something real quick. I'm not sure, guys. I don't see it. Almost looks like someone deleted it, but I know for a fact people got it because people were posting gains on this thing. There's the CCIV. Let me see where it was. Yeah, right here. J-Roy got it. He got the Snap YOLO. Made almost $4,000 off of it. $300 to $4,200 off that chart. But like I said, man, I'm never going to tell you guys to hold an option through earnings. I will let you know if I think that it has a pretty good probability. And if you guys want to play some earnings plays next week, me and Emily play earnings plays all the time. We've actually even called earnings plays and held through earnings, which is like the cardinal rule not to do. We were just that confident in it. Activation Blizzard is what we got last time, and we held it through earnings, man. And that thing crushed 500% overnight. So sometimes it's a good idea. Most of the time, you're going to lose on it. But you guys all seen what Chipotle did last week, man. Chipotle just absolutely dominated. So let me look at my own watch list real quick. I'm going to show you guys where we stand on a few of these things, all right? I'm looking for, okay, IPA ripped really hard. There's IPA. I was looking to see where this thing was going to bottom out. So we're going to pull the chart up on it right now. Oh man, it looks so good, guys. I'm just gonna be honest with you. It looks really good. Anybody see why? Look at this. Look at how low volume this thing had, and got that news, jumped all the way to 1640, right? Rejected at the downtrend all day, and then just flat. All right. Small caps were down Friday all day, and this one did not budge. It stayed and held this right there, and this thing, it looks like it's consolidating right at this lower level. If this thing gets news tomorrow, this can easily jump towards 10, 12, 13, even $14. All right, we got to double check the news on it, make sure anything else didn't drop since then, but it definitely had it there. Let's check it out real quick. Yeah, right here. So this is what I posted. TATX 03 antibody cocktail. Potential neutralizes Delta variant. So I'm gonna tell you guys right now, if more data comes out on this and this version of it neutralizes that Delta variant that people are absolutely freaking out about right now, you think that Moderna, I'm not saying this is gonna be Moderna, I'm never gonna compare those two together, but this is only $8.28, right? Just went to 16. If you think that it's not possible, just take a look back. Moderna was $12 all year long, right? 13, 10, 11.54, sideways, doing nothing, okay? And then COVID came. Then it started getting some momentum. Then it just got more volume. Now it's breakout. Now it's $350 a share from $11. All right. Now you got this thing over here, just getting some news that this thing could potentially neutralize the Delta variant. And you look at it on the 1 minute or the 5 minute or even the 30 minute. To me, it looks like it's starting to consolidate. Here's the initial run up. Here's the initial sell off. And then there's where it ripped from. There's a lot of buyers in this range. So as this is falling off, it's starting to hit a level where a lot of people jumped in. So let's watch at open what this does off this level. This thing might crush off this level right here, okay? This is a 30-minute chart. We're going to MACD cross. Check the 1 hour. You can see it curling over. It looks like it wants to. Definitely make sure that this holds over here. I would never hold it if this didn't come through, but if this consolidates and gets more volume or more news, this thing's going to absolutely crush. So keep an eye on that thing. It has a lot of upside. Jumping back over to TTOO, since small caps got hammered. Look at this thing. I want you guys to see this. So here's my base level, right at $1.05 and $1. It's at $1.07. You can see the levels. They come all the way back from this very first break here. Held, ripped to $2.32. All right, came back down to $1.07, up to $1.53, back down to $1.07, $1.02, all the way to $3.79, back down to $1, up to $1.50. So even this tiny move right here, just this, is a 50% gain. All right, now do not underestimate a 50% gain. A 50% equity gain of a penny stock that you can buy a lot of shares of is a lot different than a 50% options gain. Okay, and you will realize it and see it. But that has major potential at these levels. If you want to look into this company, I got a PDF file on it. I got a lot of info on it. It is tied into COVID, and it is tied into the COVID Delta variant specifically, okay? So definitely keep this one on high watch. You want to talk a little bit?
I'm in that one, dude.
All right. Well, that's one I'm just going to start averaging in on, getting as low as I can, knowing that our day is going to come on that thing. You know, news drops at any time. There's no way to know exactly when, but it is low, man. I think 30% is conservative, 50% is very possible, potentially 100% or higher isn't out of the question. It's the same type of move that I play for all of these things. Watch this. In Pixin, same thing. We get the same bottom and the same moves off these, right? We haven't had that move yet off that level. It's at $1.09. Just look at this. Just from where the level it's at now, right on that last little spike, here and here, is a 37% gain. No, it don't seem like a lot, but if you buy 10,000 of these things and it goes up 37%, even on a minimal little pop, you know, that's $3,700, you know, just in a couple weeks, you know, if you can afford it like that. And then sometimes you get that big news that drops and you get these huge moves. Once these low floaters start going and the news comes in, you never know how high some of these are going to go sometimes because FOMO comes. You know, there's not a lot of shares even out there. Really starts driving the prices of these up a lot and quickly. So, all right, Will, ask away, bro. What was your other question besides the screeners? So, stock card, tip ranks, lucid tracking. We do have Motley Fool. We don't really read it other than a few articles. FinVids and this FDA Catalyst calendar we use for news and screeners and sentiment. We like tip ranks because of the PT upgrades as well. If there's a very well-known hedge fund or personnel that gives a huge PT on a stock, the stock really likes to trend towards that PT. So you definitely want to get those first. If you go to the expert center here, you can go Piper Sandler. You guys all know him. He's super popular. He's in the tech sector. And, you know, whatever he buys, people are buying. That is for sure. He's ranked 8th out of 7,000. So you can follow all these top Wall Street analysts on here. All you got to do is literally click follow. And whatever they buy or give a PT upgrade on, it's immediately going to alert you right here what they got. So I still believe I can get a discount code for you guys. It may not be as big as the last discount code, but I can still give you a discount on tip ranks since I am an affiliate with these people. I'm trying to get a bot made for you guys right this second to get added to the room. That may be a surprise for you guys, but I'm definitely trying to make it happen right now. I just had a conversation with him recently about it, and he was talking to right here. Sounds like CEO would want to call you, set up Sunday, email you the questions. I already sent him all the different stuff. I was showing him how many stock related discords are out there. It's staggering number. I showed them that some groups alone have 150,000 people inside of it. So, it is a big group of people that they're aiming for. And that's why I'm really doing this Personify thing, because if we can get 150,000 people in a Discord room, how many people do you think are going to go into a platform that's specifically designed for stocks, right? And that's exactly what this company is doing. So, I'm in on it, man. I'm in big. Me and Emily are 100% investors in this company right this second. So, we're just going to go long on it. We're not worried about it at all. We think this thing has massive upside for the Personify. That's the one I showed you in Market Talk just a little bit ago, right? Right here. So if you want, watch the video. Ken is on there. He'll give you a quick kind of overview of his background. They've already had one WeFunder, and it was gone within a day. This is the second one. Then they got, different perks for investors and things like that. But this company is creating a platform. Just like I said last time, we hijacked Discord and made it stock related. Stock Tweets has a bunch of pump and dumpers on there. No real DD hardly at all. Some of them do, most of them don't. Twitter kind of spammed, hard to follow. Personify is going to be like a social network to where you follow people, but you can also, whenever I buy something, when this Personify app is done, and I'm in this app right now, I'm one of 12 people that are testing this app. I'm a beta tester on this. Me and Emily both are. As soon as I go into Webull, just so you all know, and I right click and I execute and I buy this, the second that I buy this, that is going to alert you exactly what I bought, when, why. Okay, real time. It'll happen within 1 second of me clicking it. So I don't have to buy it, then run over here and type it out for you guys. Then you read it and then look it up and then find it. And this goes with options too. So I'm going to be able to integrate this thing really, really, really well for you guys. And that's going to separate us from everybody else, because there's no other Discord going to be able to do that. I know this for a fact because there's only 12 of us, and I know the heads of all those other big rooms. If none of them are in there, none of them are going to have access to that technology. At least not how I'm going to be able to have it, for sure. Ken's definitely taking care of his guys that are helping him develop the app, in person. So it looks like Ash and a few other guys already invested in it. So, we definitely are. We like it a lot. We think it has a lot of upside. Okay, so for Binance, okay? Who in here does not have a Binance account or understand how to make a Binance account? And I'm going to unmute you guys if you don't have a lot of background crazy noise. I only had to randomly mute people that had babies crying and stuff, so I'm sorry about that. I just, some of you didn't know that your microphones were on. So does anyone need help with Binance? Does anyone understand how it works?
Yeah, me actually. So I need help.
Okay, so Binance, right? The first thing you're gonna do is you're gonna get this right here. Okay, it's called a Proton VPN. Download this Proton VPN, and all this is doing is allows you to connect to another country to show that that's where your IP address is signing in from. Every other country in the world can get Binance except for the US. All right. So as soon as you click on, let's say, Belgium, I'll connect to Belgium right now. right? I'm gonna cancel it, but it would connect to Belgium, and you could sign right into Binance off of that, and then no issue whatsoever off of that. All right. Once you do get a Binance, Proton VPN, you download Binance regular. It's gonna open it up, and then you get Binance, and you're gonna transfer money. We mostly use just Cash App. If you guys got a Cash App, you can go to Binance and click on it. It's gonna show you a QR code, and you just scan it. You can send Bitcoin straight from your Cash App to that Binance. It's that easy. Once you guys get your account set up, I'll walk you through and do a deposit live. Very easy to do, and that's all you got to do, literally. Okay. Yeah, one sec, guys. I'm going to pause. We'll record. All right, so going into Binance, you can just pick anyone. You can go to Belgium, any other country other than the United States. You can go to Australia, right? So let your new IP address come in. As soon as this is connected, it's going to allow you to be able to sign in to Binance. So just go to Google Chrome or whatever you use, Microsoft, and then we'll just go to Binance. All right. Log into Binance. Log in. All right, it's gonna send you. You're gonna have to set up what's called Google verification. All right. So on my phone right now, it's showing me. It's called a Google Authenticator. All right. So right now mine is 576701, and that's gonna change every single time. So you can come in like that.
Dale, I would advise that to have it on two devices. Try to pull that from the cloud. It won't be twice. Pull it down.
That's weird. Let me see something real quick. Maybe this ain't the right one. Alright, so say we go to, something popular like Dogecoin, right? And let's see here. So you can see Dogecoin. It looks like it's kind of trending up. It looks like it can push towards this 1946. Just had a break all the way to 1907. This is on the 1 minute. Let's go to the 5 minute chart real quick, kind of get a better picture of where we're at. It does look like it's bouncing off this lower level. Okay, so say if I wanted to buy Dogecoin and I wanted, let's say, 3,000 shares of it at 19,399. All right, I got to add 3,000 shares right there. The margin is only 1164, but this is 50x leverage. Now you can change this leverage as well, all the way to right over here. You can change the leverage all the way to 100x or 120x at times, right? So that's the max it's going to allow you. On Dogecoin, it changes from coin to coin, and it'll change. This account doesn't have a ton in it. We have a lot more in the other one. This is more of like a play account off of the PC, because we typically trade it off our phone because we're using our PC for all of our stock trades. So we don't like to jump back and forth because the VPN makes it slow. All right. But as you can see, it only takes not a fraction of a cent before these things really start to rip. Okay. And you can even add more than that. Let's say we add 5,000 more on that. Say we had 5,000 Doge at that level, and it's going to move quickly. You can lose, $10 just on a single candle to the downside, if it does. Right now, that wouldn't be an ideal area to buy, although we do just have a cross. It'll probably come back down to this moving average and then turn up. As it does that would be a better entry on that. As you can see, it's already down. I would say the entry would be right around in this range, but it looks like it can push back up towards that 1947, or even if it went all the way to 19,788, not even a penny, this thing would be up about $50 just off that little move like that. So it definitely moves quickly, especially when you're leveraged high like that. You can add even more than that if you wanted to. I like to trade XRP Ripple on it because Ripple essentially moves pretty slow. You can find the bottoms and the averages pretty well. See, it does look like it wants to candle down to this range right over here. So I'm just going to add as this falls into that range. But what you definitely want up is you want a Bitcoin chart up at all times. All these coins are going to follow Bitcoin. So I have a Bitcoin chart up, have it on the 1 minute, and as you can see, it just made a move as Bitcoin looks like it's... See, now Bitcoin's pushing right now a little bit, so you can bet that Dogecoin's going to push right with it, okay? So you can just jump back and forth between them and watch as Bitcoin goes. The rest of these are going to go right with it. Here's the dip. Now Bitcoin just made that dip right there. You're going to see Dogecoin make that same dip. Just like this, all right? But I'll let it come down a little bit to my moving average, and I would average in on it. You just got to keep an eye on it. Looks like Bitcoin had a nice candle to the downside. You get better moving averages up. We have Trading View that we use primarily. Does look like it wants to fall a little bit towards this 34,166. So, like I said, not the greatest entry. I literally just bought this so you guys could see it. And we'll jump over into some other coins as well. Just make sure you have a good connection on whichever one you're using. I got 8,000 Doge at that price right there. I'm not a big Dogecoin fan. You guys know I've been shorting this thing for a long time, but it doesn't take much for these things to make big moves. So I'm just gonna let it ride out for a little bit and see where we're at. Probably gonna go green here in just a second. Point 94407. So we're right there at entry right now. I'm not really too worried about it yet. 407.
Do you always use leverage? Like, what's the point of it?
Oh, because you can use this $31 right here. 50x is going to make stupid, crazy gains. This thing can go up 1,000% by tomorrow, leverage like that. Like for example, for that Ethereum one that I showed you guys, I had 100 to 200. I bought 8 Ethereum coins. Okay, if you use 50x, let me show you. You're leveraging it so you don't have to spend so much money on these things. Let's go to that's Ethereum Classic. Let's just go to regular Ethereum. Okay, right here. All right, it looks like it's moving up. You can see Bitcoin is still kind of chopping in this range, looking like it almost looks like it wants to come down based off of the RSI right here. It looks like it's kind of topping out right here. So let's just say, for example, you want Ethereum, and Ethereum looks like it wants to break up, to be honest. But it's going to follow Bitcoin essentially. But watch this. I buy one Ethereum coin right here. Okay, so this thing costs $21 per coin because it's 100x leveraged. The more it's not leveraged, the higher the cost is on this, all right? This is allowing you to buy that on margin like that. So if I were to move this leverage down to 25x, then this is going to cost, $100 or $200 for one. So you're leveraging your position But if it's to the upside, you're going to get the same gains as you would having the same position. Where you're leveraging just to make more money, essentially, and they move quicker. These are going to be for like scalps mostly. I like to swing trade them. In the other account, we still do have Ethereum. We bought it. Let me show you where we bought this thing at. You can see it probably on the 30-minute pretty easy because we've had it for about 3 days now. Let's go out right in this range right here, okay? So this is where we bought. Let me move this. Sorry about that. So here was the base for Bitcoin, okay? This is where Bitcoin bounced, this is where Bitcoin bounced, and this is where Bitcoin bounced, right here, okay? Triple bottom, crypto was moving. So this is at 1715. So I had put a limit buy in all the way down in this range. Didn't even look at it. Limit buy as this was falling down at like 1820 all the way down towards 1750, okay? So it averaged me in about 8 coins down there right at like $1,800, okay? Which is right here, right before the move. So that first day, Will was live with me. This thing ripped up right here and it held its support. So I trimmed like 3 or 4 coins and I held 4 more coins because it, even though it's had some down, it's still trending up overall, right? And until this overall trend is gone, and right now it's actually at a major resistance level. If this level right here breaks, this thing's gonna gap up to $2,400. And these coins that were only at 1,800, you're talking about $600 move on this thing. So if this was $100 margin and it's up 1,000%, right? Or mine's at 1,700%. Each one of these made $1,700. You see what I mean? Does that make sense, or am I going too fast?
I'd say it definitely makes sense. Just a little confusing, I guess, because I just haven't seen this before. Say a trade goes the wrong way. How does that leverage hurt you then?
It's gonna move just as fast up as it is down. But look, come over here. You set your stop losses. You can put take profit in the middle of the night. Say if you think this thing's going to 2,200, you can put 2,200 in there. It's going to stop out for $33 gain. Come over here. It's at 2,171. You could put 2,160. Okay, for a $6.54% loss. You can confirm that. You're either going to win or take a small loss on that thing. You do want to give it some play because this thing moves so violently. Just since we bought it, it's up 20%. And it's been like what, like 3 minutes or so? Like a single candle up is a 20% gain. And I only put $21 into it. I could have put, the rest of this 700 or whatever. But it's going to move. It's going to move quickly. That's for sure. If you want to short it, you can. Like I can go short Ethereum when you think it's going to have some pullback. But you're always going to have Bitcoin on deck and watch Bitcoin. Bitcoin looks like it's still pushing to the upside, which so far it looks like it is. It looks like it's going to go all the way back to this 469, or at least test that. It's been slowly trending up for the last since 2100. So look at the 30-minute chart, and it really looks like it's just at a trend line consolidation pattern right in this range, right? It's held this range really well, had that pop, fell off, looks like it's just consolidating on this trend line, looking for one more pop to the upside. So if you can get a good position in here, I was buying down in this range for Ethereum because Bitcoin is going to cost too much and they're all going to follow Bitcoin anyway. So this was our first run. Then it held, it flagged, and then it broke out of this flag. You can see it right there. Right here is the consolidation off that level. okay? And you can see the channel right there. So right here is the support, resistance, support, break. And then it's never lost this break point since then, okay? It's pushed up since. So when you're looking to buy this on like a 30-minute time frame, here's an entry, here's an entry, here's an entry, here's a short, here's a short, here's a short, entry, entry, possible short. On a big breakout like that, you don't know how high they're going to go. You have no history to go off of, right? You do have history to go off of here. You know that you have resistance right here. So, you know, this is where you would short from 33,100 down to, you know, 32,400. Then you can dip by right at support right there and swing into that break, trim some profit because you're at resistance, let some runners ride, and it broke through and held it and pushed up even more. So, you know, that's when you got to be quick. You got to trim profits when they're there, man, because it moves quickly. I could be down on Ethereum already right now. Who knows? But it's slightly up right now, nothing crazy. But we can continue to watch Bitcoin and go to the 1 minute chart, and it's just essentially just going to follow Bitcoin. Bitcoin looks like it could have a little bit of pull. So right here, I would literally just, you know, close the positions out like that, and I would just wait for this thing to have a little bit of a dip. I would like to buy it right at this moving average right here. So you can go short, say 3 Ethereum coins right here, right? If you wanted to. Now this is $65, 100x. So if this has like one big candle to the downside, you know, this thing would smash somebody right there. If it looks bearish, whichever way you think it's going to go. It looks like Bitcoin could come down to this 34,219. But we'll see. It looks like it's a little exhausted up here after that little trail up. It looks like it can trend down just a little bit. And I would hold on to this for a second and see what it's going to do. Right now it's down just off that candle. Yeah, it took you down 6%, right? But so far, to me, it looks bearish because, you know, it lost this moving average, and this is likely going to be a rejection at that level to downtrend probably to this secondary moving average. And if you wanted to add to your short, it will average you in. Like at the top of that candle, I add one, it's going to average you in. So I'm at 21,167. It's at 21,169, okay? You can just average in as high as you can. Just went higher. So I can add into that short at 21,169.32. But you got to be careful with that thing now, because you start leveraging real high on that. I mean, you can liquidate your account quickly. You see it's down 8% already off of one candle. So, you know, I don't play candle to candle like that. I'm looking for these long-term areas down here for these swings. And I'm actually bullish on crypto right now. I would not short crypto right now. I just think that it was going to get rejected off this moving average right there. So for like a very short play anyway. So we'll see what it does at this level. And we'll see if Bitcoin does. See, Bitcoin looks like it's uptrending. So to be honest with you, this looks like a bad entry because it's just going to follow Bitcoin. I would almost want to take a quick $5 loss on that. Because Bitcoin's starting to take off right now. You see that? Already down on it. So we'll see how high that holds up. So for me, at like 398 right there, we'll see how it holds up. Looks like it wants to trend up higher. I would probably just close that and just wait for like an actual good entry. I was only buying them mostly just to show you. Not that I thought that that's a great entry right there. I think short term, it looks like it's starting to consolidate at this level. But it's really easy once you get the hang of it, man. Just make sure you're looking at solid time frames, right? Like a 30-minute time frame is going to give you a better outlook of what each candle is going to do. Double bottom, resistance, bottom. So I know that I have resistance right in this range where it's at right now. If it were to get rejected right here at this resistance tonight, right? So here's the first rejection, here's the second rejection. Maybe it trends up into this right here at 21.96. And this is where you would look for a potential short because it could, just from here to here, is about a 500% gain just from down to there to there. Then you're looking to buy at that same support level, right? You can get your trend lines out and you can just go straight across right there. You can see that this trend line is holding off that level, and these are areas that you're wanting to buy for a potential swing. Now, once you're up, this is at 21.40, you're at 21.64, you know, now you can set your stop losses just above even and just see how high it can go. When I bought those ones down here in this $1,800 range, like, I personally don't think it comes back to that. If you go back out, not only just on a 30-minute chart, but let's say a 4-hour chart, you know, to me, this could be the first bounce of a real recovery on this. This support goes all the way back. You know, it held it here, it held it here, here, and here. So to me, this was a really, really strong level to buy some of these at. So I would look for now a pull back to some moving averages, and then for continuation of these to go to the upside. I would definitely add XRP Ripple, ADA, and a few others, Cardano, because this could also just be a consolidation pattern, right? You can see this right here. This could still be a downtrend to where this is going to get rejected here and finish consolidating right here and then break out. Maybe this is just a dead cat bounce off bottom. It turns and consolidates a little bit more, but I will say this, it looks like it's nearing the end of consolidation, right? Had your big bounce, had some more consolidation, held support again, tested the downtrend, got rejected, held support again, testing resistance now. Maybe it breaks out right here. Maybe it turns down and consolidates a little more and gives people an opportunity to get back in down here. But the key is this bottom right here, and to me, it looks like it ripped off that bottom. As you can see, it did. So I'm looking for these long-term levels, but the guy that I'm adding into the room tonight, as soon as we get off live, he's more of a scalper. He's going to be a guy that is literally going to come to, you know, 5-minute and 1-minute charts, and he's going to be buying just for things to break out, right? Like Ethereum right now looks like it's trying to break this high, this last high, and potentially gap fill. I mean, this thing did just rip all the way to almost 2,200. You know, $40 move is huge on this, but right now it's not at a great level to buy. But I am adding him tonight. We're adding the crypto to this platform. You see it right here. We're adding all this stuff. The news bots are going to be awesome. They're not going to alert you to death. You can mute those things. And then we're going to have the flow algo bots. These are going to be real flow algo bots, not no BS knockoff ones that you guys have seen in our last room or in any other rooms. These are going to be the real deal. We've got the sweepers, flow algo, golden sweeps, dark pool, green equity, flow request, okay? All these are going to be up and running by next week. And we do have 1 or 2 more traders coming in that are a little bit different traders than what we have. I feel like we have a strong group of options traders with Kumo and Zeus and Jack Thunder, JPM, all solid. Young Buffett alerts. You guys all know Kindred's a great scalper. He's hard to follow at times. I like him personally. I can get into some of his plays, but sometimes his plays are even too fast for me. You got to be on it, ready to pull the trigger. Kumos are a lot easier to get in. Me and Emily personally love his calls. They're fantastic. They're slower moving, and they just crush. He has a high winning percentage. Don't go all in on one play, man. Spread these things out. If you're just starting out in this, buy one call. Buy one. and see where you stand at the end of a month. Buy one call from Kumo every time he calls it for a month straight and see where you stand. I can guarantee you're going to be up. He's a very, very, very smart man. He takes his time, and he's playing his calls well. He does not buy low open interest, widespread stocks. He buys extremely high open interest stocks, okay, that he feels are going to trend up. The opposite of what I've seen some other people do. But it's really late for me and Emily, guys. Whatever questions you have, how about this? DM me and Emily tonight. Get a list of all the questions that you have. We're going to make a video over it. That way you guys can watch it, and we'll answer every question that you guys have. Literally just DM us on the side. We still got to add KM and a few other guys, finish this crypto. I want to get the crypto up and running tonight in case you guys are on the West Coast and want to trade tonight. So we're going to go ahead and finish that now. If you have any questions at all, though, reach out to me. This is not a bot room. This is a room. Me and Emily are in here. We're going to be here for all of you guys, and we care about you guys. So, dead serious, man. Really, really appreciate all of you guys. Jason123, Griffin Garcia, Ed Love, CJ Burt. Of course, you know, you're with us for sure. Bison, Ash, Cooper, ABR, Sam House, Will. Thank you. Everybody in here, thank you guys very, very, very much. We're so happy to have all you guys came over into the room with us. We're not done with this server yet, guys. This server is only going to get better, and you'll see it in the next 2 weeks.